Had to put the dog inside while the mailman is out here. But yes, when it comes to those man-made pills of minerals and vitamins and all that stuff, it can be dangerous because one, man cannot duplicate what the divine has already perfected. Um, and our human brains can't fully understand the relationships between divine creations. We don't understand how iron and zinc may need, like, just an example, because I don't have knowledge in herbalism, but two two minerals, two herbs, like, may complement each other, may help each other do their job. But if you're taking one thing alone, you don't know, it may not do anything, or it may be doing harm, because you can cause imbalances putting too much of something into your body, or not knowing exactly what your body needs and the relationship and concoctions that it needs. um and so that's why I will always preach natural. I will always preach holistic thinking, relationships, big pictures. um and yes, so I'm going into next week, I'll be going into focusing on my first eye. I don't say third eye because this is your first eye. These are your second and third eyes. Um, which is like your intuition, visions, and imagination. But for me, the theme is going to be my intuition, which I've come to a point where I can hear the communications from my body, what it's trying to tell me in order to direct me, but I don't always listen. And so you're probably wondering about all these stickers, EKG stickers all over my body. And long story short, actually, I'll just put in the clip right here about the stickers and intuition. I am upset right now, and I really want to be upset at somebody else, but I can't be upset with anybody but myself. And to make this all make a little sense, let's take it back a little bit. So, the other day, I blacked out and passed out a couple times in the shower, which has happened before. It's been a few years since this happened, um, but I knew exactly what it was inside of me, my intuition, my body, my spirit. I already knew what it was. But because I am struggling to accept and listen to my own intuition and trying to make other people happy and getting over people pleasing, I did not listen to my intuition and what I already knew in my spirit. And so now I'm sitting here unable to sleep because the what ifs are running through my head. And I'm working through that because lesson learned. And next time I will do better. And hopefully this helps y'all out too. So after I passed out in the shower and I brought it to the attention to somebody who cares about me, I gave in to their desire of going to urgent care to make sure, just in case. Really, it was somebody else's comment, another friend's comment, that also made me want to go to get a specific testing done. But that's besides the point. So I go to urgent care. You know, it's easy. They're doing blood pressure and oxygen, and, the easy stuff that you just put it on your finger, all that stuff. But it was interesting because when they started putting the stickers on me for the EKG, they didn't want to stick. And right then and there, I'm just like, I believe like everything happens for a reason, and not everybody will understand looking into small details like that. But something told me right then and there I didn't need an EKG, and it was just unnecessary.
but it wasn't, it seemed non-invasive, so I went with it, went through the test and all that stuff. At the end of it, the doctors had no answers and wanted me to go to the emergency room for further testing because they didn't have the equipment or whatever to do what they felt needed to be done to give me a full workup. So I complied. I was taken to the emergency room. Again, the same type of testing, blood pressure, oxygen, all that stuff. And, they do another EKG, which I wish I didn't do. We'll get to that. And, they get me settled. They didn't even have any rooms available, I'm assuming because they were packed and busy. So I'm in the hallway, like the overflow. They have these chairs sitting back to back or like in a row along the wall in the hallway. And I'm sitting there getting ready, just the continued test again. And then they bring out, the needle to take my blood, do blood tests and stuff like that. And the lady had an issue like kind of finding my vein, like even just when when they wrap the little rubber band around your arm and they press and feel for your vein. And I could tell, it was kind of iffy, like in terms of her being able to find a good vein that she felt comfortable to use. And I had the thought right then and there, like, this is unnecessary. Like, no, like, don't continue this. I didn't speak up. So she puts the needle in my arm and she's like struggling, like trying to get the blood flow, having to pull it out and re-angle it. And I'm just like, okay, this is getting invasive, feeling uncomfortable, which your feelings are signs, but I didn't say anything. And it's just, it's just test after test that I had these feelings of uncertainty, of hesitation, of distrust. Um, Glad that I spoke up at least about the x-ray. So they put the little harness thing covering my wound to protect it from the radiation. But there were just so many points where I felt the urge, like that gut feeling that we always talk about, our intuition. I felt the urge to speak up, to stop. I didn't really know what it was exactly, but I just knew that I felt off about it all. And so, come to the end of it, they doing all these tests, pulling blood, put an IV in my arm, the x-rays, all this stuff. And at the end of it, they tell me exactly what I already knew what was going on with me. It took 6 hours and about 10 medical professionals to tell me what I already knew in my spirit. 7 hours the day before, really. I knew it the day before what was going on. But I decided to go against my intuition and my spirit because of someone else's desire and fear. And that's not to put the blame on them at all because, most other people don't know better. Most other people don't see what I'm able to see and feel what I'm able to feel. Nobody knows me and my body better than I do. I've spent a lot of time developing a relationship with my spirit and with my body to know what it's telling me at majority of any given moment. So I want to be upset with everybody else who is involved, but being true to myself and to the situation, I can't be upset with anybody but myself. But I give myself grace because I'm still learning to trust my intuition, even when outside people, don't understand what I know, what I feel. When people may call me crazy or look at me crazy or question what I know but I can't explain, I'm still learning to trust myself. So I give myself grace because lesson learned, and next time I will do better. And it's just like sitting here unpacking everything, unpacking my day, and just seeing all the signs that I ignored, and then seeing the affirmation that I was seeing and feeling exactly what I was supposed to see and feel. Like now I'm sitting here But these damn EKG stickers, like, I don't even know how many I have. I got one off, but I have probably like six others all on my body, and I can't take them off without painfully pulling my hair off. And I'm somebody who I got hair almost everywhere. Um, like I believe in body hair because our hair are receptors. It is a way for us to read the environment around us, to perceive and to feel the energy around us. So I have hair all on my arms and everything. And I'm looking at this like sticky part. But but yeah, so now I'm paying for not listening to my intuition. I tried to soak in water to help these. I think it's just going to be painful either way, and that's my price I have to pay so that I remember the pain that comes, the consequences that come from not listening to my intuition. And just feeling off, even since they put the IV fluids inside of me, I am just a strong believer that if I'm creating the natural habitat, vessel, environment, space that I was meant to by the divine, by source energy, God, the universe, whatever term you want to use, if I'm doing what my part, doing what I'm supposed to do in being natural, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. If I am living naturally, living according to how the divine created me to live, then I don't need outside sources to tell me about me. I was given all the intricate systems and immunity and all that stuff for a reason. I don't need man-made substances shot up my arm like a drug. I don't need blood being taken out of my body that was meant to be in my body. I don't need radiation field tests that come with a warning. I don't need those things if I create the environment that I was placed on this earth to have. And that's where the disconnect lies right now between the natural world, natural living, natural beings, and the artificial world and artificial beings. People think it's vaxxers against unvaxxers and, you know, tax paying versus, like those things are minute and mundane. Not mundane, but they're minute details to the bigger picture. At the base of it all is natural versus artificial, divinely created versus man made. And at the end of the day, my bet is on the divine. I don't need a human being to disrupt anything that the divine already made perfect. And that's the real conversation that needs to be had, because it's interesting that a lot of people who call themselves religious and believing in God don't see that. And that's a message that I feel the need to continue to push. That's why I'm making this video. And actually it helped me to even speak on this too, because I feel my frustrations and my anxiety about not listening to my intuition and about man-made substances being placed into my body and divine substances being taken out of my body, and my exposure to radiation today. Telling you guys about it helps. It helps me process it. It, I believe, will help other people in their journey, in their decision making, and trusting their intuition and moving in their divine right. And I felt the push too. I felt like I needed to come and make this video. This is completely out of the ordinary, like how I'm looking, my messaging, all of that. But my spirit is telling me that it's time for me to start sharing these messages that I hear, that I get, that I receive in a unmanicured fashion. Like when I receive it, I'm going to give it. instead of trying to wait for the right time and the right way and like just speak with no edits, no pausing, no retakes, no nothing. This is the space and the energy that we're moving towards. So, the end of the story, every feeling that you have, emotions, gut responses, intuition, hesitation, anxiety, mental dis-ease, all that stuff is a sign. All that stuff is a form of communication trying to tell you something for you to listen and take action. We'll speak on this more another day. This is all I have today. Queen J, thank you for listening tonight. Peace and love, royal family. Good night.
I am in no way giving advice, medical advice. Um, my perspective is coming from somebody who is healthy. I don't have any acute, any chronic, underlying, subacute. I have no health issues. I'm probably the only person in my family who hasn't had anything. Um, no pre-diabetes, no endometriosis, no cysts on my over like I'm healthy. Um it's a this perspective, my perspective is coming from somebody who is healthy. And so when you don't have other ailments, other things to consider in your holistic approach, you can come to things differently. You can incorporate a different course of action. And so because I'm healthy, I know that I don't need doctors. I don't need doctors to tell me what I already know about my body. I don't need doctors to prescribe me anything either, because I'm starting to gain my knowledge in herbalism and natural remedies, and people who also guide and help me, teach me in natural remedies. So for me, I don't need man to help me in my system because I don't have, you know, health issues. I mean, I also believe that natural remedies, holistic approaches, has room for people with acute and chronic and detrimental illnesses as well. But that is a different approach. That is, you need different considerations and different tools, and yeah. So that's a different story. But yes, hopefully this all makes sense and you gain something from me rambling. But thank y'all for tuning in. If you came this far, shout out to you. Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be back next week with another Queen J TV episode. Peace, love, family.